Hey, cyber business pros. Welcome back to the 10-Minute Cyber Pulse, where I break down the biggest cyber business stories of the week. No fluff, just facts. Today, we're digging into CompTIA's brand new State of Cybersecurity 2025 report with some key insights vendors really need to know. We've got fresh funding news in quantum and AI security, and the head of NSA and Cyber Command has been fired. Plus, a few more stories of interest to cybersecurity vendors as we push past this first quarter of the calendar year 2025. Let's get into it. Let's start with the market watch. It was a pretty quiet week on the cybersecurity deals front. Most of the headlines right now are focused on broader U.S. market volatility, and that's definitely making investors a little cautious. But I still spotted a couple solid moves worth paying attention to. First up, ReliaQuest raised over $500 million. This round was led by EQT, KKR, and FTV Capital, and it brings their valuation to $3.4 billion. ReliaQuest focuses on AI-powered threat detection and response, what they call agentic AI. The idea is to go beyond basic automation and give analysts more intelligent tools to cut through the noise and act faster. They're planning to expand globally and invest in even more automation across their platform. Big move, especially at a time when enterprise buyers are tightening budgets. Next, Quintessence Labs out of Australia raised 20 million AUD, about 13 million US. They're about quantum-enhanced cybersecurity, building encryption and key management tools that are resistant to future quantum threats. This round was led by the Australian government, so nation-level backing for a company they clearly see as strategic. Quintessence Labs says the funds will help them grow the platform and push into new markets. So yeah, not a ton of activity this week, but one thing is clear. Cybersecurity companies working on AI and quantum tech are still getting investor love. That's your market watch for this week. All right, let's talk about a loophole that's been letting cybercriminals off the hook and what lawmakers are trying to do about it. Senators Catherine Cortez Masto and Chuck Grassley just reintroduced a bill called the Combating Money Laundering and Cybercrime Act. It's bipartisan, and it's designed to give the Secret Service more power to go after cyber criminals using digital assets to hide their money. Right now, there's a legal gray area. The Secret Service doesn't have clear authority to investigate things like unlicensed money transmission or structuring. That's when criminals break up large transactions to avoid triggering reporting rules. And that's exactly the kind of thing cyber criminals do when laundering crypto. This bill aims to fix that. It would update the Secret Service's charter so they can actually investigate these modern schemes. There's some urgency here, too. One recent example, U.S. law enforcement struggled to stop North Korean hackers from laundering over $1 billion in stolen crypto. And that's just one case. Senator Grassley put it bluntly, if law enforcement doesn't evolve alongside bad actors, we're going to keep falling behind. So if you work in a cybersecurity space, or anywhere that touches digital payments and crypto, this is one to watch. Lawmakers are clearly trying to close the gap between old laws and modern cybercrime. We'll keep an eye on it. Link to the full story from the record is in the description. Next up, Google just dropped a big update for Gmail, and it's all about making email encryption way easier for businesses. They're rolling out a simplified version of end-to-end encryption, something that's usually a pain to set up. No more dealing with certificates or special software. Now, if you're using Gmail for business, you can send encrypted emails with just a couple clicks. Here's the key. You, the customer, control the encryption keys, not Google. That means even Google can't read the contents of those emails. Right now, it's in beta, so businesses can use this to send encrypted messages to other Gmail users within the same organization. But Google says full rollout is coming soon. You'll eventually be able to send encrypted emails to anyone with a Gmail account and even third-party email services later this year. This is a big step for secure business communication. Email encryption has always been too complex for most companies to bother with. Google's trying to fix that by building it right into the tools that people already use every day. If your business handles sensitive data, this is definitely worth keeping an eye on. The White House has just fired the head of the NSA and Cyber Command, General Timothy Hall. No clear reason was given. This comes just days after a meeting between Trump and far-right activist Laura Loomer. Afterwards, she posted that Hall and others were being fired for being disloyal. Trump denies that that's why, but in the same breath, He said he's removing people he doesn't like or who aren't loyal to him personally. And here's something worth noting. General Hall wasn't involved in the recent Signal Group chat leak about U.S. military strikes, but he did testify about that leak on Capitol Hill just last week. Also fired were his deputy and at least 3 senior staff from the National Security Council, including directors over intelligence, tech, and the national security policy. Lawmakers are raising concerns. Representative Jim Himes, a top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee, said he's deeply disturbed. He called Hall a leader who put national security first and suggested that might be exactly why he was let go. The NSA and Cyber Command lead the country's most sensitive cybersecurity operations. Purging top leaders like this creates disruption, hurts morale, and could slow down critical missions. And that is a national security risk. Read the article for yourself. The link is in the description. DOGE has decided to host a little hack-a-thon. Their words, not mine. Aiming to build one appy to rule them all for unfettered access to all taxpayer data currently held by the IRS. But let's be clear, a hackathon this is not. This isn't a weekend code sprint or a fun internal challenge. What they're actually trying to do is consolidate all of America's most sensitive financial and identity data into a single access point on a 30-day timeline. According to reporting from Wired and The Verge, one vendor name keeps coming up: Palantir, the surveillance tech company co-founded by Peter Thiel, a longtime associate of Elon Musk from their PayPal days. Meanwhile, experts inside the IRS are raising red flags. One employee told Wired, it's basically an open door controlled by Musk for all Americans' most sensitive information, with none of the rules that normally secure that data. Musk has been advised that the 30-day goal is technically impossible, and security-wise, it's a nightmare. We're talking about creating a single point of failure for the data of every taxpayer in the country. With no formal plan, no regulatory review, and no public discussion, just DOGE calling the shot. This is a national security risk disguised as an efficiency play. As always, links to the articles I'm referencing are in the description below. Now let's talk about the new State of Cybersecurity 2025 report from CompTIA and what it means for cybersecurity vendors. This report is packed with insights that reveal how buyers are thinking, what's keeping them up at night, and where the opportunities are for solution providers. Here's what stood out. First, confidence is low. Only 22% of organizations feel their cybersecurity efforts are fully effective. Just 25% think the overall direction of the industry is improving fast enough. So while spending is up, satisfaction isn't. That's your opening. Second, cybersecurity is no longer just about threat prevention. Buyers are thinking about governance, compliance, resilience, and trust. They need vendors who understand the bigger picture, not just the technical features, but the business value. Third, generative AI is stressing them out. Most companies don't feel prepared to manage AI-related risk. So if your product helps make AI more secure, more visible, or more controllable, lean into that messaging. Buyers are looking for guidance here. Now let's talk about skills. There's massive demand for cybersecurity talent, but companies are struggling to hire. In response, they're investing in training and certification for their internal teams. 56% are boosting training and 42% are offering certs. That's a signal for vendors. Your buyers want solutions that are easy to adopt, easy to use, and backed by strong enablement. They're not looking for more complexity. They want tools that fit into what their team can actually manage and grow with. One more takeaway. This line from the report says it all. Just as organizations must consider multiple layers in their cybersecurity strategy, there's growing need to build multiple layers of cybersecurity expertise. So, if your product helps teams level up, consolidate, or align better with business goals, you're in a strong position. The bottom line is there's money on the table, but buyers are cautious. To stand out, you've got to speak directly to the pain points in this report: complexity, skill gaps, AI risk, and a need for trust. The full report is linked in the description. It's a must-read if you're building, marketing, or selling in this space. Phew, that was a lot, especially for what I thought was going to be a slow week in cybersecurity business news. I think I need to go pet my dog and get some fresh air. If you made it this far, maybe you should too. But hey, it's worth it. I put all this together so you've got the info you need to stay sharp and keep driving success in the B2B SaaS cybersecurity space. If you haven't already, hit like and subscribe and come join us at bootstrapcyber.com. It's where smart, scrappy cyber business pros go to connect and grow. Now, it's time to get back to business. See you next week. Until then, keep hacking your success.